Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Watkins Glen International for the fourth race in the 2021 FBRL Napa Truck Series. We're gearing up for 35 laps of action today as the drivers that spun out on lap 1 at Willow Springs are on the front row. Sebastian Kukulon and Luke Martin will lead them to the green flag, with Blake Warren and Tyler Black in row 2, Malik Nevins, Gatlin Downey row 3, Zachary DeLello and Huck Davis making a return to the Napa Truck Series in row 4. DeLello on probation after what is defined as reckless driving last race at Willow Springs. As we go through the rest of the starting lineup, you see Kyle Springer has been the hottest Napa Truck Series regular to start the year. He comes in second in the points behind Sony Cup Series driver Jordan Fisher, who will not be running another race until Hotlanta at the end of the season. Blake Warren coming in third in the point standings and Gatlin Downey fourth. The Ford truck will be driven by KT Larson today. It'll be her first race in the Napa Truck Series. Aiden Smith in the 05 also making his debut here today. A lot of drivers making debuts, both in their career and on the season. Andrew Rich qualified into, I believe this is his second race of the year. As we get towards the rear of the field, it is to be noted that Benny Watson will start in last place after failing to set a qualifying time. He will start behind the provisional drivers. Christopher Jones also suffering going off track during his lap, as was Alexa Lushon. As you see, the 10 of Nelson Reeves making his debut. He's the first driver in on provisional. Then you've got Bob Burns, Joshua Michaels, and Mitchell Carter in on speed provisionals. Mitchell Carter making his first start of the season. Let's go trackside for the command to fire engines.
Drivers, start your engines.
The drivers that did not qualify for today's race will scroll across the top of the screen. It is to be noted that Eric Monaco and Genesis Engineering could have made their debut start here today at Watkins Glen had the number 41 of Texan Motorsports not signed Huck Davis to drive for all of the races. James Silverfox will not be in the truck. Monaco and Genesis will surely have their chance at some point this season due to the provisional setup that was put into place at the start of 2021. Kukulon and Luke Martin will lead the field to the green flag. As mentioned, lap 1 of Willow Springs did not go their way 2 weeks ago. Both spun out on the first lap. Green flag is in the air, and we are underway at Watkins Glen. Still side by side into turn 2. Up the S's they will go, and Luke Martin will inch ahead of Sebastian Kukulon to take the race lead. It has not been the season Luke has desired thus far, with only a finish of one top 5 through 3 races this season back at Phoenix. Sorry for the weird phrasing there. Kukulon comes into this race 16th in the point standings, a couple positions better with just 1 top 10 on the season. So both of these veteran drivers not having the season start that they wanted. Meanwhile, Blake Warren, who's looking for second from 3rd place, won at Daytona, had an engine failure at Phoenix, and then had an amazing run last race at Willow Springs. He is under fire from Tyler Black. Out of all the drivers who returned to the Napa Truck Series for 2021 from 2020, Tyler Black had the best finish here in this race last season. The only other driver to finish in the top 10 with him was Larry Hagan, who we see there at the rear of the top 10. Racing side by side with Zachary DeLello, a driver that caused a lot of controversy at Willow Springs with his incident with Boston Jones, after Boston Jones turned one of his co-team owners, Alex Benyako, who was driving for Crossroads Racing in the 10 truck. DeLello was assessed a 30-point penalty, along with being put on probation for the next 2 months, which is essentially the next 4 races in the Napa Truck Series. Kyle Springer had another career day, still looking for that first career win in the Napa Truck Series, but he currently finds himself inside the top 10. Meanwhile, Ryan Butcher, who won at Phoenix, finds himself outside of the top 10. Road courses were definitely the thing Butcher was the most inconsistent on in 2020 that you could say cost him his shot at the championship. Qualified well here today at Watkins Glen, currently not inside the top 10. But between Butcher, Warren, and Springer, they are the only 3 drivers to get 2 top 5s thus far on the season, aside from Jordan Fisher, who is not racing here today. Want to talk about some of our debut drivers. KT Larson, 17th at the start-finish line here on lap 3, riding behind Jordan Presto, who had a great race at Willow Springs, getting a top 10 finish. That was his second top 10 of the season. Larson making her debut here with Anja Otto. Anja Otto had Cody Goforth, who's 2 positions up in the single Z Racing 84 truck. Run part-time last season, he did very well. Now it's KT Larson's turn to show that someone with little to no experience can jump in the truck and run well. So far, she's doing pretty good in 17th place. A few positions back, you'll find Shape and Yako Racing's Aiden Smith driving the number 05 truck, which Cody Lamas took to victory lane at Willow Springs. Smith will pass Roberto Crown Jr. for 19th place, as now Griffin Leeple McDermott is going to look for the position of 20th himself. Kyle Vaughters making his second start of the Napa Truck Series season. He's racing side by side with Dewey Schramm III for a spot inside the top 30. Vaughters finished 17th in his debut 2 weeks ago at Willow Springs. Currently not doing as hot for Tommy Roberts Racing. Out of the 3 TRR drivers, he is lowest of the bunch. Talked about Huck Davis making his return to the Napa Truck Series. Huck is currently 10th on the racetrack. Meanwhile, teammate Brett Houck is running in 28th place. And now you've got to start to wonder, is it the team of the 40 truck, or is it the driver of the 40 truck? Houck and Huck don't have that much difference in experience. They've actually got about the same. Huck ran 3 races last season before being removed from the ride for reasons. And Houck has run the first 3 races this season, so you'd think they're about the same experience-wise, but right now Huck is showing a much higher level of talent compared to his teammate. Back at the front of the field, Blake Warren has made it past Sebastian Kugelon for second place, as Malik Nevins will look for P4 on Tyler Black. How about this for Gatlin Downey Incorporated? Looking for what I believe would be the team's first top 5 finish. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe 2 top 10s with Austin Rogers in this truck last season, and 1 top 10 with Malik in the truck so far this season. So GDI looking for the first top 5 of their team's existence. Kyle Springer increased the position that past lap, taking 8th place away from Zachary DeLello, who, by the way, was fastest in practice with a 1 minute 13-second .892 lap time. We had 2 Chevys, 3 Fords, 3 Rams, and 2 Toyotas overall in the top 10 in practice. Ryan Dagby has cracked the top 10, getting by Huck Davis, who is now under fire from JD Martin. JD has shown increasing progress on his road course program. He comes into this race, let's see if I can find him in the point standings, 11th in the points, hasn't gotten a top 10 yet on the season. However, his average finishing position through 3 races is a 13.67, or 14th if you prefer rounding up. But J.D. Martin has shown increasing speed on the road courses. You want to talk about Willow Springs with the strategy gamble last season. He ran well there this season. And now again here at Watkins Glen, inside the top 15, looking for a position inside the top 10. I want to talk about Team Velocity getting all 3 trucks in the race for the first time since Daytona. Joshua Michaels is making his second race of the year, as is Andrew Rich. Currently, though, Michaels not doing so hot. He's not inside the top 30, racing behind the spa truck of Samet Oskin for what I believe is... Oh, and Michaels just blew the motor. And the problems just get worse for Joshua Michaels, who you could consider a Sony Cup Series dropout in a way, though his tenure in the Sony Cup Series was not long, and his race is over. He was running in 34th place, so a tough end to Joshua Michaels' day. Meanwhile, Andrew Rich currently sits in 26th place. Andrew's a known dirt racer at his hometown track at Cherokee Speedway. And Andrew looking to turn that into asphalt success. Speaking of Team Velocity, the one driver we haven't covered yet is Mitchell Carter, who's making his series debut. He's currently in 38th place in front of another series debut driver, Nelson Reeves. So Crossroads Racing, really new team still, counting in some of the races they ran in 2020. And Team Velocity also getting their 3-truck program together, a jump from the 1 truck that ran several races at the end of 2020. A lot of work to be done for these teams if these rookie drivers are to showcase what they're really made of. Move Ryan Dagby up another position. He's up to 9th place after getting by Zachary DeLello, who ran the Hardee's National Series race at Iowa this past weekend, as now Sebastian Kugelon is going to challenge Blake Warren back for 2nd place, and he will take it away. So a little bit of a exchange going on there for 2nd. So Ryan Dagby has been making his way forward after starting outside of the top 10. Dagby enters the race 15th in the standings, average finish of 15.33, average starting position of 11.67. So Dagby has been starting better than where he's been finishing. And Dagby has extended a gap over Zachary DeLello, so DeLello starting to showcase his inexperience, as he's not able to keep up with the 5 of Ryan Dagby. We want to talk about the other S3 Motorsports driver, currently not inside the top 10, but has made his way up to 19th place, as you see Aria Carmona passing Aiden Smith for 20th. How about Boston Jones, currently running inside the top 20 for Caesar Autosport? They recently joined a agreement with Joseph Strigley Racing for support, as up in front of them, J.D. Martin is, almost contact there as he takes 10th place from Zachary DeLello. J.D. Martin will clear him, and now he's got to try and catch up to Ryan Dagby, who's in 9th place. Now, on the road courses, we've been using a variety of high drag packages. There's actually more drag on the trucks here today at Watkins Glen than there was at Willow Springs. So the Napa Truck Series trying out different types of higher drag on the road courses and short tracks than what you guys will see on the super speedway and intermediate track races. Move Blake Warren down to 4th place as Malik Nevins jumps up to 3rd. How about this run by the Sony Cup Series veteran? Hasn't run up in the Sony Cup Series in a while. He's got a few wins under his bag, and that experience is showing off today as he's charging up towards the front, where Sony Cup Series champion Luke Martin leads the field. As Gatlin Downey just took 5th place away from Tyler Black. Downey was one of those guys that really showcased what he's made of in the testing sessions over the offseason, he was top 5, top 10 in almost all of them, and shockingly enough, he was the fastest truck at Virginia International Raceway. So Anjado with a good signing to get this man behind the wheel of a Napa truck, as he will lose 5th place back to Tyler Black. And you know Tyler Black is hungry this early in the season even to get everything he can, because with the way the point system works, there's more points to gain, but that also means there's more points to lose. And the more points you gain earlier on, the less you have to worry about at the end of the season. That's what Black did last year with fellow competitor Will Goss, and then it all slowly came tumbling down, and Austin Murray took the championship for Anjado. Things are heating up at the back of the field for 34th place between Bob Burns, Zachary Bilson, Benny Watson, Chase Dunbar, and maybe even Samet Oskin, who's a little ways in front of them. There is about a 4-second gap from Francois Chastain to Samet Oskin from 32nd to 33rd. And Burns will not give up against Zachary Bilson for 34th place, but he's going to lose it out to him going up the S's. Tire wear has really started to hit a cliff here, as we're being told that there is up to 3 seconds of fall off from some of these trucks from the hot lap times they were setting just 12 laps ago. Bob Burns will lose 2 positions, maybe a 3rd here to Chase Dunbar, and he'll go from 34th to 37th from the time of the start-finish line. As we're hearing, one driver might be coming down pit road, and that's the 83 of Zachary DeLello. And no sign of any other driver on pit road, so DeLello with the undercut strategy here today. The fuel window is about 13 to 15 laps. And it looks like he is the only one to come down pit road. With green flag pit stops on the horizon, or I guess just pit stops since we don't do caution flags here on the road courses, Kyle Springer has advanced another position up to 7th place. And appears to, so far today, be one of the fastest trucks on the track. Fastest lap goes to the 38 of J.D. Martin with a 1:13.754. But Luke Martin has led every lap. So one Martin has the fastest lap, and another has been leading the entire race. And he will lead them into the pits, as there's no sign of anybody staying out. Oh wait, Ryan Dagby has elected to stay out. Leading laps doesn't give you any bonus points, but this could set Dagby up for the end of the race. So Dagby will stay out, as will KT Larson. This is not a bad strategy, because the deeper you are in the field when you're trying to get into pit road, the more trucks you're behind, the more that slows up your entrance speed. Now, with the high drag, though, you kind of want to be in draft coming out of the pits. So we'll see how much time the 5 and the 4 gain or lose, as Luke Martin will lead him out of the pits. Malik Nevins will jump up to 2nd of the group over Sebastian Kukulon. Kyle Springer comes out 4th. Tyler Black 5th out of the group, as Zachary DeLello, who had fallen outside of the top 10, is going to come out right next to the 77, looking for that 5th place. As Downey came out 6th out of the group, he is going to give draft to the 77, but DeLello's tires are warmed up. That should give him an advantage into the bus stop, and it will. It'll put the Shade Binyaka Racing rookie inside the top 5. J.D. Martin 8th, Hagan 9th, Butcher 10th. But Luke Martin has pulled away from the field following the first round of pit stops. And And there he goes past Ryan Dagby. We'll have to see where Dagby comes out after waiting another lap to pit. It doesn't look like he lost too much time. Springer's right there. So the overcut, perhaps, not a bad call by the crew chief on top of the number 5 box, as he'll come out right in front of Zachary DeLello. We're hearing the 18 team of Francois Chastain had a problem on their pit stop. One of the guns got jammed while changing the tires. That has dropped Chastain from, I believe, what was 31st to 39th and cost him about 7 or more seconds. So a really bad jam on one of the air guns. Francois got the truck under him. He should be able to chop through a lot of these guys without much trouble, but the time lost will be difficult for him to make up on his own. Well, Ryan Dagby was able to hold on to 5th place while his tires were cold, and he's got a 2-lap difference on DeLello, so he's really going to have a good amount of grip compared to the 83 in the corners. However, the drag will allow the 83 and the others to keep up, and it'll really come down to driver skill as well. The 4 of KT Larson currently runs in 18th place after her overcut, which is about where she was running, so she really didn't lose anything track position wise. As TJ Smith is having a good day, he's inside the top 20. TJ and teammate Ian Brandt have had a lot of bad luck. They've had good runs, but have not had the results to show those good runs. Brandt comes in 33rd in the points, TJ Smith 35th. These two are in danger of having to go through go or go home qualifying following the round of Nashville in 2 weeks' time if they can't get it together and get some good finishes going for them. You see Brandt there in 22nd. Both of them are running much better than what their average finishing position states. And you want to talk about teammates? Let's talk about the 41 of Huck Davis, currently running in 15th place, 10.5 seconds behind race leader Luke Martin. Brett Houck, 28th place, 9 seconds farther behind. So quite the return for the Huck Davis in the 41, as Zachary DeLello falling down the running order, as Ryan Butcher is inside the top 10 officially for the first time today. Blake Warren had a very poor pit stop. He has fallen outside of the top 10 from the top 5. And you gotta wonder if the Kool-Aid machine can make his way through the field like he did 2 weeks ago at Willow Springs. How about Griffin Lapo McDermott? He's at the very end of this pack, up to 14th place after starting in 22nd. S3 Motorsports bringing out some really fast trucks for the race here today at Watkins Glen. Kyle Springer has made it to the back bumper of Sebastian Kukulon for 3rd place, as Luke Martin's lead has now reached about 4 seconds over Malik Nevins. And Springer's going to get the draft here off of Malik Nevins as they hit the stripe. He'll be 3rd at the start-finish line. Question is, can he clear Kukulon into turn 1? Answer is no. They'll battle it out going up the S's. The rumble strips have shown grip at the beginning of a tire run, but once tire wear hits, the tires seem to spin against the rumbled paint, which those rumble strips are not meant for driving on at all. They're just really there to notify, hey, this is where the preferred track limits are. Springer will fight back on Sebastian Kukulon in the carousel, really making him work for it. We've seen drivers either use 3rd gear or 4th gear through the carousel, and 3rd gear has definitely been the better way to go. as you don't really gain a lot of that time back on that straightaway if you're stuck in 4th gear. And coming to what'll be 16 to go, Kyle Springer with the edge again at the start-finish line. Can he get it done this time? And the answer this time is yes. Kyle Vaughters continues to struggle as Boston Jones has found his way outside of the top 25. Vaughters will peek to the inside for a move. Oh, he dived it in too hard, crashing. Alexa Luchon gets a piece. Oh, and Andrew Rich is going to have nowhere to go. Contact is made. Oh, and Chase Dunbar gets on the brakes late. Bob Burns, Zachary Bilson make contact. And we have a big crash on lap 19. And Alexa Luchon will have to limp it back to pit road. Luchon came into this thing 7th in the point standings. Let's take another look at how that unfolded in slow motion. Boston kind of holds his line, and Vaughters just kind of slid up, just dove it in too hard, and they're already kicking the left end out a bit. They just both spin out, hit the wall. Brett Houck misses this, but Luchon gets a piece of, I believe, the 34, and that sends her off into the grass, slams it with the passenger side door, and slides back into traffic, and Andrew Rich just has nowhere to go and sends the Porkins Crunchyroll Incorporated one machine spinning. Not what PCI needed at all after officially downgrading to a one-truck operation after just not being able to get anything set up for their second truck. And then Chase Dunbar and a few others are coming in here. They get stuck in the oil and they just can't slow down in time. Dunbar, Bob Burns get heavy damage, and then Bilson's going to try and turn left to miss this, and then he gets into the driver's side door. Dunbar pops him up on 2 wheels, but no flip, and everyone, despite the hard impacts, managed to drive away. Kyle Springer is getting increasingly closer to the back bumper of Malik Nevins, and here's the move. On lap 20 of the race for 2nd place position, Springer started outside of the top 10, I believe, and is going to take 2nd place away from Malik Nevins. Sebastian Kugelon is looking for P3. As Luke Martin is up ahead in the distance, just still gone. Oh, and there's Alexa Luchon, and oh no! He gets into her, and oh, Luchon gets sent right into the tires. Luchon was riding along the left side of the track, was cutting across, but she was just going so slow. Luke Martin couldn't really adjust his racing line there, and he hit the brakes. It looked like, does he have any damage? He doesn't have any damage. So Luke got on the brakes, but it still sent the one truck off the track to the right into the tires. We're hearing Luchon is shaken up, but she is okay. But man, Luke Martin had issues with drivers on pit road at Daytona and Willow Springs, and now he's having issues here at Watkins Glen with drivers trying to get on the pit road while he's leading the race. So everything to do with pit road seeming to be clawing at Luke Martin. It's the demon in the truck. The pit road and him just don't seem to agree so far in 2021. Sebastian Kugelon trying to get back 3rd place from Malik Nevins, and he will get it done. Ryan Dagby's tires have come in. He is inside the top 5. And he is really charging forward. And now he's looking for 3rd on Sebastian Kugelon. How about this move? Dagby used Kugelon to get by Nevins, and now he got such a good run off of turn 1. He's going to take 3rd place for himself. And how about Zachary DeLello? He pit a lap before a lot of these guys, and he's been able to hold his ground, currently running in 7th place. Downey's going to make a move to his right side. Blake Warren has jumped back inside the top 10 as Ryan Butcher has fallen to 12th. And how about Griffin Label McDermott running currently in 13th place? Cody Goforth having a good run today in 14th place. Goforth got wrecked out at Willow. Rode around with no front end for most of the race. Goforth is still looking for that first top 10 on the season with Single Z Racing. As the battle for 10th is heating up, man, you got about 4th place on down to 14th, looking for the best position they can be in, heading into the second and final round of pit stops here today at Watkins Glen. What a day it has been, and Huck Davis continuing to hold on to 15th place. He's got AJ Jones and Jordan Presto right behind him. And then there's another gap back to KT Larson in 18th, Arya Carmona 19th, and Aiden Smith just inside the top 20. And while it has been a great day for one Gatlin Downey Incorporated truck, it has been a mediocre day for the other one. Dewey Schramm III, currently running in 22nd place, comes into this race 31st in the points without a top 10 and an average finish of 29th. Dewey just trying his best as he's actually going to come down to pit road, coming to lap 24. And it doesn't look like anybody else has come down to pit lane, no. So Dewey Schramm III this time, the driver to undercut the field. The field is in the window, and at this point, if you're Luke Martin, the sooner you pit, the better off you'll be. You've been out front running without draft the entire run. 3.78 second lead last time by at the start-finish line. And you're on the same tires as Kyle Springer. Dagby, the only one to worry about. And lately with this high drag package and Dagby's experience level compared to Luke Martin's, he's not going to catch him on his own. And there you see with the draft, Luke Martin just lost 0.6 of a second that lap. And out of turn 1, Blake Warren clears Zachary DeLello for 8th place. So Warren taking back some of what he lost on the first round of pit stops. As the new fastest driver on the race after the first round is now Griffin Label McDermott. JD Martin was fastest before we had those pit stops. So S3 Motorsports just seems to be really fast today. There you see GLM. He's currently down to 14th place. Actually, no, I believe that's 13th after passing Larry Hagan. Cody Goforth has made it up to 12th. Cody Goforth looking for that first top 10. I think he's hungry. Huck Davis, AJ Jones, and Jordan Presto have caught up with all the fighting that's been going on here just inside and outside of the top 10. Has no signs of any drivers coming to pit road, so man, not even DeLello. And Dewey Schramm with a very good strategy call as long as he can avoid any potential chaos that may loom in his way. Nelson Reeves is the next driver to bring it down pit road as Luke Martin's lead has been closed again. Another 0.6 of a second. There you see the 65, and there you see the 56 getting increasingly closer. I'm not sure if Dagby's tires just wore out or if he's just decided to push Springer to the front as fast as possible with that second pit stop looming. And we're hearing now that Luke Martin is going to come down this time by, coming to 9 laps to go. And here he comes, and here comes the field. Now, the real question here is, did anybody stay out? Oh, Zachary DeLello is going to go from the undercut to the overcut as he stays out on the racetrack. Anybody else? Any other takers as they come down the hill? So far, no sign of anybody. Dagby and Springer into their pit stalls. Left sides are up. And left sides are down as Luke Martin gets an install. Ryan Dagby just took 2 tires. Several drivers are taking 2 tires, we're hearing. Ryan Dagby's going to come out in front of Luke Martin after taking left side tires only. Springer out 3rd. Kukulon 4th, Nevins 5th. Downey 6th. KT Larson took 2. She's out 7th. Butcher 8th. Blake Moore 9th. And Cody Goforth 10th. We're hearing also that Benny Watson, Mitchell Carter, Francois Chastain, and Cement Austin opted to take 2 tires. So the strategy we didn't get that we thought we were going to get at Willow Springs has occurred here today at Watkins Glen International. And how about Dewey Schramm III was running outside the top 20, now with the undercut up inside the top 15. What a call by the 65 crew. As up ahead, Chase Dunbar, Zachary DeLello, and Boston Jones will come down pit road. And Ryan Dagby will inherit the race lead with 8 laps to go. He's got about a 1.3 second gap over the 15 of Luke Martin, who has led pretty much the entire race here today. Kyle Springer and Kukulon are another 2.5 seconds behind him. DeLello, the overcut's going to pay off, I think, for him. He's inside the top 10 still. And how about Cody Goforth? He got by teammate Tyler Black on pit road. It looks like Tyler Black might have had a poor pit stop, as they are just flying by KT Larson, who took the 2-tire stop gamble. As you see a really big gap from Huck Davis to Aria Carmona. There you see TJ Smith and Ian Brandt. They are both just outside of a top 20 result. We'll see what the TGI drivers can get done here in these last few laps. Well, it didn't take no time at all. Luke Martin's 4 tires to Ryan Dagby's 2 has really paid dividends. They took the line with 7 to go, and there it is. Going up the S's. Luke Martin will look to the right side of Ryan Dagby. You can't blame Dagby for the call, trying to get his first career win in his 2nd season. But Luke Martin's looking for that first career Napa Truck Series victory as well. And he will take it from him coming out of the S's. And now you just got to wonder if that turn 1, if Luke made the move in turn 1, would he have lost less time? Because I believe Springer and Kukulon were able to gain a lot more there. Martin will be basically pulling Dagby in the draft for the rest of this race, unless those right side tires really start to fall off. But Springer and Kukulon are the closest drivers in range to maybe do something, but if they start fighting for 3rd, I really think the 15 will just drive away. We'll come to 6 laps to go. Never mentioned it, but Alexa Lushon, Andrew Rich, and Bob Burns retired from that incident on lap 19. Things are getting dicey for spots inside the top 15. KT Larson is going to get put 3 wide by AJ Jones and Larry Hagan. Jordan Presto, Huck Davis looking for somewhere to go. The 2-tire stop is not working out for the Ford truck at all. Ooh, Hagan's going to get run off into the grass by AJ Jones. Presto's going to stick his nose in there. They're slamming doors through the bus stop. Oh, KT Larson off at the 12. AJ and Hagan will pass by the 4, continue racing side by side for what I believe is 14th place. JD Martin will make a move on Dewey Schramm for 13th. As now Presto trying to find the way by KT Larson. Oh, and he's going to hook her right into Huck Davis. Oh, and that sends Huck into the tire barriers. Oh, and TJ Smith nowhere to go. Aria Carmona gets tagged. TJ Smith's day is done, and so is Huck Davis's. Carmona will continue on the track, but she'll lose a ton of time after her teammate turned the 4 of KT Larson into the 41 of Huck Davis. Let's take another look at this. You see Presto was just behind her the whole straight. Now he's trying to find a hole to get by her. The two tires has really just not worked out here for KT. And then right there, I think Presto thought he was clear up behind the bumper, and it just hooked into the 4. That slammed into the 41 of Huck Davis. The 4 straightens out, but Huck is just gonna catch those tires, and it just slams his truck down to a stop. Definitely a good amount of whiplash behind that impact. Now he's trying to get to the right to get the pit road. TJ's trying to go left, and TJ just runs right into him. And then the right front of the 41 slams into the left rear of the 54, and that sends Carmona for a spin, costing her several positions. But a tough break to Huck Davis and TJ Smith, who were having great days here today at Watkins Glen International. Definitely not the return Huck Davis wanted, as the Texan Motorsports driver will have to try and keep his head high on his way to Nashville in 2 weeks. Brian Dagby has been the saving grace for Kyle Springer and Sebastian Kugelon. The gap, 2.5 seconds before pit stops. Now, after using Dagby to pull in the draft, that has really chopped down the distance. However, there, Springer unable to make a move on Dagby into the bus stop. That's going to allow Kugelon to close up. So now we're seeing the same thing we saw with the 4 KT Larson on the 5 truck of Ryan Dagby, and that's just the right sides are so shot they've got really no grip left. Dagby will wave the hand out the window. Springer to his driver's side. And Dagby will slide up right in front of Sebastian Kugelon off turn 7. Now that is teamwork if I've ever seen it. 4 laps to go, 1.46 second gap. Springer has undoubtedly been the fastest mover through the field today, and you gotta wonder, does he have anything for the 15 of Luke Martin? Kugelon trying to find the way by Dagby for 3rd. It would be Kugelon's first top 5 result of the season. Malik Nevins currently in 5th. Downey in 6th. DeLello a ways back 7th. Butcher 8th. That's the highest Butcher's been all day. Warren 9th. And how about Cody Goforth inside the top 10 in front of teammate Tyler Black, who was running inside the top 5 earlier today. Griffin Leopold McDermott 12th. JD Martin 13th. Dewey Schramm the 3rd 14th. As there's AJ Jones, Jordan Presto, and Larry Hagan. As you see KT Larson, her tires have really worn. And how about Ian Brandt inside the top 20? After Huck Davis, Carmona, and TJ got wrecked out of turn 6. Carmona didn't lose a ton of positions, but there you see her with some damage in 23rd, running behind Brett Houck. Cody Goforth 10th at the line. He's going to make a move on Blake Warren for 9th place. Make that a move on Ryan Butcher, as Butcher does not get a good corner and leaves the lane open. Move Cody Goforth up to 10th place. Cody's been asking Luke Martin about for tips in the garage area during practice sessions, between qualifying runs, and Luke's really been helping this kid out. And you can see it here today, running in 8th place. How about Zachary DeLello after causing a bunch of mayhem in the last race? He's inside the top 10. He's kept his nose clean most of the day today, as Dagby has done an excellent job defending over Sebastian Kugelon. That has allowed Kyle Springer to charge up to Luke Martin all on his own. Coming to 2 laps to go, could we be seeing a repeat of Phoenix, where one driver leads a majority of the race, just for somebody who was that little bit better at the end to come in and snatch it away for them? 2 laps to go, the gap down from 9/10 to 5/10. Luke's getting a little bit of pull from the lap truck of Chase Dunbar. That's a Ram manufacturer teammate. I'm not saying the manufacturer be saying anything, but if they were, I would hope they're telling Chase Dunbar to move out of Luke Martin's way here, because catching a lap truck going into the bus stop is the last thing you want as the race leader. Oh, and he just couldn't catch Dunbar in time, and that really hurt him in the middle of the bus stop. And he still can't get by Dunbar. That has allowed Springer to close right up to the back bumper of Luke Martin. Kukulon and Malik Nevins get by Dagby. Nevins now looking for third. Springer to the left side of Luke Martin through turn 6. Dunbar just still in the way. Still side by side. Springer in the draft of Dunbar, but Dunbar doesn't have any horsepower. At first it looked like Dunbar was going to hurt Luke Martin. Now it looks like he might have helped him. White flag in the air here at Watkins Glen. Can Springer do anything to claw back? Both looking for their first Napa Truck Series victory in their careers. Springer, though, in his third season. Luke's the defending Sony Cup champion. Breeding Enterprises already got a win from Blake Warren at Daytona. Kyle Collins got them a road course win last year. Into the carousel they go. Springer really closing the gap. But Luke Martin is pulling off the corner, and our telemetry is telling us Luke Martin downshifted into third gear, but for whatever reason, Kyle Springer could not get it out of fourth. That's going to be the difference. Unless something breaks here on the 15 now, Springer with one last ditch effort, but he's just not going to get there in time. After 3 races, Luke Martin has won a Napa Truck Series event. The pit road problems just being outright outperformed at Phoenix Raceway. He's done it here today, and he had to hold off a late hard charge from Kyle Springer to do it. Malik Nevins is going to get Gatlin Downey Incorporated a third place result. I believe that's the team's best finish to date. Sebastian Kukulon and Ryan Dagby will round out the top 5. As Cody Goforth got it up to 7th place at the end of that. Butcher 8th, Blake Warren 10th, with Zachary DeLello getting the 9th place finish. That'll be DeLello's first career top 10 in the Napa Truck Series. We're hearing there was contact made coming to the white flag at the back of the field. KT Larson had fallen outside of the top 20 at this point, coming to the white flag, and Christopher Jones had no pressure but just gets right into the 4, spins her around. I'm not sure if the 4 hung the lane a little more to the right than Christopher thought, or if Christopher had just had enough. It looks like he might have been stuck behind her for about a straightaway. But not the way KT Larson wanted this strategy call to go. Almost getting turned once by Jordan Presto. Used Huck Davis to save herself. And now getting turned by Christopher Jones. I guess one could say the hazing process is in full effect for KT Larson here in her debut at Watkins Glen. I actually have an onboard here with Christopher Jones. This is back earlier in the lap. There you see him making the move to get by Brett Houck, but KT Larson was there in the way. Through the bus stop they went. Houck would completely clear the 4. Now Jones looking for the spot. He's going to get into her right there. They both go to the rumble strip on the flat. That allowed another truck to get by, along with, I believe, Ricky Freeman Jr. there. I'm not sure who that other truck was. I believe that was Roberto Crown Jr. Now Aria Carmona. So now Christopher has lost 3 positions. Oh, but right there, it actually looked like KT got loose, checking up for the 54, who was on her driver's side, and Christopher just wasn't going to lift in that situation. So definitely an issue the FBRL Napa Truck Series officials will be looking into. What a day here from Watkins Glen International. We were supposed to go to the Pensacola Road Course this weekend, but the officials inspected the track a week ago and it just wasn't gonna work. Bunch of problems on the infield section of the course, though we will be down to Pensacola in the summer for a super speedway race. It's actually the only other super speedway on the calendar aside from the opener at Daytona. But Luke Martin has gotten that demon a little ways out of that truck of his. Maybe the paint scheme change was a good luck charm here today. But that'll catapult Martin up the point standings. He came in 22nd in the points. However, Kyle Springer, who came in second in the standings behind Jordan Fisher, he'll come out of this thing as the points leader. And finishing second is going to pay big dividends with the new point system. Springer is now the only full-time Napa Truck Series driver with a top 5 in all but one race at 3 top 5s on the season. Joining him with 3 top 10s is Blake Warren, Gatlin Downey, and Ryan Butcher. One could say that aside from Luke Martin, who's had some bad luck in 2 of the first 3 races, that those are the 4 favorites right now to win the championship early on in the season. Lucian with the wreck, 7th in the points. He'll fall outside the top 10, possibly here. Tyler Black, another good run, though it wasn't a top 10 effort. Jordan Presto inside the top 20, I believe, and JD Martin was up there near the top 10. I believe those are some of the names we'll see as drivers inside the top 10, as Jordan Fisher, Cody Lamas, and Chris Dodd, who all entered this race top 10 in the points, will no longer be top 10 in the points, except for maybe Jordan Fisher after today's event. That'll do it for me here today at Watkins Glen International. I hope everybody enjoyed this race here today. I know I did. I will see all of you guys in 2 weeks' time for the first Hardee's National Series Napa Truck Series double header, Nashville Super Speedway, for an undetermined amount of laps. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks' time, and hopefully we don't see the Hardee's National Series drivers maul the field like we have seen the Sony Cup Series drivers do so far in 2021. Till then, peace out.
Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act, head up, that's a fact. Never looking back, I'ma keep myself on track. Keep my head up, staying strong, always moving on. Feel I don't belong, tell my thoughts to move along. Push myself to be the best, die with no regrets. Live with every breath, see my message start to spread. And I had so many dreams, then you hit your teens. Life ain't really what it seems, try to find out what it means. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline.